Monday, everyone. I hope you had a nice weekend full of quality gaming time. Or if you went outside and touched grass, that's great too. I'm Stella Chung, and in today's fix, Insomniac confirms Spider-Man 2 is single-player. PlayStation CEO explained why PC players won't get PS5 games immediately ported. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was actually delayed by a year, and we had no idea. And Super Smash Bros. Creator doesn't think online play was the move for their game. We finally have some news on Spider-Man 2. It is confirmed by Insomniac to be single-player only. Now, this might seem obvious since the previous Spider-Man games weren't co-op, but this update comes after Miles Morales actor Najee Jeter went to SAC Anime to host a panel, and during a Q&A segment on the panel, Jeter was asked if Spider-Man 2 is co-op. His response was, "I believe it has been announced. I don't know if it's been announced or not, but I think so." He asked if the fan had seen the trailer for part 2 and said, "So that right there, if nothing is giving you a little sense of that, we're going to be having part 2 coming out soon. It's going to be crazy." So unfortunately, I think Jeter was confused on the matter and delivered some bad intel. Today, Insomniac Games responded to Twitter user @SeanLea4 asking if Spider-Man 2 would be co-op. Insomniac replied, "Nope, it is an epic single-player adventure." Not gonna lie, Jeter got my hopes up with that one. But Jeter did tease that we've got some more funny stuff because Miles gets clever with his webs in this one. To add to this statement, Games head of franchise strategy and studio relations Ryan Schneider had previously revealed their vision for the sequel in a PlayStation blog post. So maybe Jeter's statements on Miles' gameplay could be right and be more interesting this time around. While pushing the capabilities of the console will be exciting, we're equally pumped to craft all new stories for Peter and Miles in the sequel. Just as in our previous Spider-Man games, we not only want to tell a great superhero story, but also deliver a compelling human story, one full of heart and humor that dives deep into the people behind the mask. Crossing my fingers that we get a look at the game during the PlayStation Showcase this week on Wednesday, even though I am slightly bummed that Spider-Man 2 won't be co-op. But you know what? While we're speculating, I bet you there's a moment in the game where we'll have to play as Miles and fight Peter, who's been affected by the symbiote. At least, I think that'd be a super sick fight and sequence. Sticking with PlayStation news, PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan went on the record in an interview with Famitsu to state that PC ports of their games will not be arriving day one. Most of you will hear this and be like, yeah, no shit, we all knew that. But we have more details on why Sony isn't adopting Xbox's simultaneous console and PC releases. Ryan dismissed the idea of releasing PC versions of PS5 exclusive games like God of War Ragnarok on the same day they launch on the console because porting them over to PC 2 to 3 years after initial release has been doing really well for them. Ryan said, quote, "We also fully understand the importance of PS5 exclusive titles. As I mentioned earlier, PlayStation Studios' main responsibility is to make games for the latest PlayStation hardware that players will enjoy. We are increasing the number of PS5 exclusive games and staggering the release of the PC versions." I can understand wanting to make PS5 games work well for the PS5 first, since we are talking about console-exclusive games. And also, we saw what happened when The Last of Us Part 1 released on PC back in March, and that definitely could have used more time in the oven before releasing for PC. While it sucks that I can't discuss the latest PS5 games with my friends who want to play them but are waiting for PC since they don't have the console, I don't think the 2 to 3 year release is horrible. It gives PlayStation more time to ensure quality ports and game fixes so PC players can get the best version of it. Hopefully. As long as we don't get Joel's f***ed up eyebrows again, I think we're good. Okay, be honest, how many hours have you put into Zelda Tears of the Kingdom? I have not really kept count because I stayed up till 4 almost every night playing, but I've barely touched the story if you can believe it. But if Nintendo had stuck to their original plan, the game would have been out a year ago, and who knows how many hours we would have sunk in by now. According to an interview with the Washington Post, Zelda franchise producer Eiji Aonuma revealed that the game was basically done a year ago, and they had originally wanted to release it in 2022. However, the team delayed the game a year so that they could have more time for polish. Aonuma said he wanted to, quote, "make sure that everything in the game was 100% to our standards." And if you've seen the wacky things people are making in that game, it was worth the wait. Nintendo also didn't reveal a release date until a Nintendo Direct back in September of 2022. So we actually didn't know the game was delayed because there was no release date to delay it from. Everything worked out perfectly. Sticking with Nintendo for our final story, Super Smash Bros. Mastermind Masahiro Sakurai doesn't think online play is a good fit for Smash Bros. He said, quote, "One of the best parts of Smash Bros. Is how players can become champions among their friends. But being subjected to online competition can cause people to lose confidence, which isn't great." Sakurai also mentioned that on a technical level, the game just isn't meant for online. Smash Bros. Uses synchronous communication where input timing is synced with all players for every frame of a match. A game like Mario Kart, for example, uses asynchronous communication. In short, Super Smash Bros. Brawl for the Wii limited players to facing off against others close to them geographically for the most lag-free experience. And it looks like we'll be sticking with the most recent Smash game, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, for some time, as Sakurai also confirmed there are no plans for a sequel at the moment. Now that you're all caught up on the news, be sure to mark your calendars for May 24th, because we've got your full coverage of the PlayStation Showcase. We'll have tons of PS5 and PSVR 2 news, look at new games, and this is only the beginning of IGN's Summer of Gaming. We'll be streaming the showcase this Wednesday, May 24th at 1 p.m. PT on all of IGN's channels, so don't miss it. Oh, and also, don't forget to follow us on all of your social media. You can follow me at ParallaxStella everywhere and subscribe to us on Snapchat. I'm Stella Chung, keep on gaming, and I'll see you next time.